Hi, Ravi here. Today I am working on Honda Fit Shuttle 2012 1.3 liter semi-hybrid car. Customer complaint is low fuel mileage along the way, no issue other than that. This car has engine tune-up done recently with spark plug changed, but the same situation, so let's diagnose it. First of all, hook up the scan tool and get the data. Scanning for the codes, and I am looking for any codes in engine control module. Until the fully system scanning, I will show you what is the average fuel consumption indicate on the dashboard. Sorry, need to close the door first in order to navigate the center display. Here you can see average fuel consumption is 12.4 kilometers per liter. That is too low. This semi-hybrid motor does 20 to 25 kilometers per liter in the highways and 16 to 20 kilometers per liter in the freeways or urban areas. But it's depend on the traffic condition, driving pattern, vehicle load and climate, etc. However, this is too low fuel economy for this car because I know this car well and work with them lot. Okay, let's go to the code scanning again. Few systems have fault codes except engine control module. I don't care about them but need to check what issue is present in the ABS module because some brake issues could cause to low fuel consumption matters. Anyway, hope you can see it has a PCM malfunction code. No idea what it is because no any fault code present in the PCM or powertrain control module. In the HVAC and BCM has air mix controller motor failure code which I am going to not consider on this matter. Okay, let's go to the engine control module and pull the live data to analyze and find any direction in order to diagnose low fuel mileage issue on this car. Just select all the data bits and go ahead. Okay, start the car and let it to be idle for a while. I would like to focus on the fuel trim data. You can see here long-term trim around 1.02 and short-term trim around 1.0, which is perfect. I think there is nothing to consider about that. But we have to wait and observe a bit longer what will happen. Until then, I would like to surf through other data bits to find what is going on the EFI system. Let's go to the AF sensor data. That is perfect, just stay close to the zero line. Lambda is around 1.0 which is perfect and indicate the combustion take place in the stoichiometry. No misfire counting in the scan data which indicate good sign. Look at this, fuel injector is bit higher than normal at the idle. Here is around 2.8 millisecond. For this car, perfect value is around 2.5 millisecond at the idle without any load like AC compressor on. This is a good point. I would like to see the MAP sensor data because MAP sensor data is mainly responsible to determine injection pulse width. But before that, I go to the SOC data bit that indicate hybrid battery state of charge. Because of hybrid battery health could cause to drop the fuel consumption down. SOC was around 70% which is good. Okay, let's go to the MAF sensor data bit. MAF sensor data has small fluctuation which is not a big concern, but I don't like the values that hit below 1.5 grams per second. Sometimes it has hit around 1.3 gram per second which is not normal for me. Okay, let's load some important few data bits together and analyze them. Here I have loaded both fuel trim data, AF sensor, fuel injection time, MAP sensor and MAP sensor data. Do you see that MAP sensor hit 1.3 gram per second? Fuel injection also around 2.8 millisecond. And both fuel trim data also has gone little bit up around 1.05 which indicates slightly lean condition. Actually these are not a normal values for this motor. I am pretty confident that this MAP sensor has an issue. Okay, I am going to do some measurements on the MAP sensor wire connection. Because customer said that Other shop already changed a junkyard sensor which was not helpful for ongoing fuel consumption issue. Okay, let's measure that relevant voltages available in those 5-pin connection. Actually, this sensor has mass airflow sensor and the intake air temperature sensor together. Do you see that 13.8 battery voltage available in this first pin as it should be? Good. Let's check next wire. This number 2 pin is sensor ground wire for the MAF sensor. Oh no, this pin has 400 mV around which has elevated ground. That is not normal. It should be below 100 mV. Definitely this elevated ground situation bring the MAF sensor signal voltage down. Next I backprobe MAF signal wire. Look at that, it has a 1.4 volt. Obviously this should be a lower value. Next I backprobe intake air temperature signal wire which indicate 2.2 volts. I don't know whether it is normal or not. Then I backprobe intake air temperature signal ground wire. Let's see what happened. Look at that, it also has 400 mV around, obviously elevated ground. What do you guys think? What could cause for this situation? Anyway, off camera I did some homework and dig the wiring diagram to find what could cause to elevated sensor ground. Sensor ground connections are coming from PCM. If PCM get bad ground connection, then sensor ground drive bad and might be elevated. So I suspect that could be the reason to elevated ground here. I found main ground connection distribution on the diagram to PCM. That is here under the throttle body, ground connection number 101 as per the diagram. Hope you can see that ground connection here. I just wiggle it, look at that what I found. Loose connected bolt of the ground connection. Do you see that how much it is loosened? Really it was super easy. My suspect and homework direct me to the right direction without wasting time. Diagram was super helpful to find the ground connection location. Loosened ground connection is the cause. Let's tighten it and recheck. Okay, I am going to retighten the bolt. This bolt would have loosened automatically for the vibration. Let's tighten it well and measure the sensor ground connection back. I did not get to measure the ground connection at the ECU pigtail. See that ECU ground has elevated really. It need much more time, but diagram shows me this ground point and direct me to check this connection, which was the right call. Anyway, let's see what happened after tight this ground point. Okay, we have a solid connection now. Okay, I am going to measure the sensor ground connection again. First I do it on MAP sensor as I have already removed the air filter assembly with the MAP sensor. Here is the MAP sensor. I backprobe the pigtail, yellow and green wire which is sensor ground. Perfect, it has 25 mV as it should be. My multimeter in millivolt range, so there is obvious difference. I measured this sensor ground also earlier which shows elevated ground. Anyway, let's reassemble the air filter assembly and mass airflow sensor to recheck sensor ground voltage. Okay, everything fitted back. Start the car and let's measure the MAF sensor ground. Here is my multimeter in the millivolt range. I backprobe ground wire here. Look at that, just 5-6 mV around which is perfect. Next I measure the IAT sensor ground here. Same value, 3-4 mV. Looks good, sensor ground issue is fixed. Look at this, airflow sensor wire also has 1.5 volts around now. But earlier with the ground issue it was 1.4 volts around. Seems to be this car is fixed. But we need to see scan data and have a test run by reset the fuel mileage indicator in the dash to prove that car is fixed. Let's do it. Okay, I pulled scan data again. You can see fuel trims are around 1.0 which is good. Also MAP reading stay around 1.5 gram per second without big fluctuation. But you remember it has hit 1.3 gram per second around at the idle when the ground was elevated. Fuel injection also has come down a little bit, but I hope it need bit more time to learn new values and optimize the fuel injection. Okay, let's go a test run, but we reset the fuel mileage indicator in the dash before that. Okay, we are on the test run now. Scan data is also rolling perfectly, especially fuel trim data stay near 1.0 under the load 2. That indicate optimized combustion. I will try to show you that what indicate in the fuel mileage indicator in the dash, but too much glare, don't like that. Do you see that it has reached 19.6 kilometers per liter? We have had 7.4 kilometers right now on this test run. Okay, we conclude the test run. It has reached 20 kilometers per liter for 8 kilometers. Perfect. Customer is happy. He haven't had this mileage for a long time. Thank you for watching. Stay subscribed with us for more diagnostic videos.